Howdy, howdy, this is Tony Potter. We're here with our presentation for the final project of CS6460. What we've done is we've created a website, jgloud.net, that is a Java writer, code editor, and interpreter, compiler, and executor. At least that's the original design that we had come up with. When we designed this, we were originally designing a website that would be able to compile and execute Java code, and something that was also integrated with the Google Drive system. So we would be able to read and write files to Google Drive, and we'd also be able to use the sharing aspect of Google Drive files so that we could collaborate. So two or more students could collaborate on a project, or a student could submit their assignments to a teacher using the share aspect. That was the original intent. We got through most of it, and I kind of want to go through what we had done and what we still have left to do outside of class, so we will go to that. So this is our screenshot of what the main screen looks like. We've got some links down here at the bottom if you want to see the previous deliverables. So we will go ahead and go to our website. So it's jgloud.net, jgloud.net. And so this is our website. Notice that we've got text fields set up for file name, for the source code, and for output. And we also have several buttons that are set up to do various things. When this program comes up, it comes up with a default program, a Hello World class that just system out print lines Hello World and file name hello world.java. And we can upload or download files as necessary. This is from our local file share, so I'm going to go ahead and upload a file. Let me go to my Java folder, and I've got this maze folder. And so here is my maze file. So this allows me to upload a file from my hard drive to this site. And notice the file name gets changed as well. If I want to download this file after I've made some changes, let me go ahead and call this mazeith. And we'll change the name of the class just to make sure that we've got this. Representing a name and content change. Then we'll go ahead and download the file, and this will download it so that I can access this. Notice that the changes have been made to mazeith, and the content have been done as well. I need to fix this so it actually uses the new file name instead of the old file name. That's a relatively simple correction I need to make. So we had this working well with our local file system, and we have the ability to also open a file in Google Drive. So it's going to ask us for permissions whenever we do this. We'll go ahead and allow that. And then it's going to bring up a file picker, which allows us to choose. The file picker set up for the only Java files will come up in here. So I can go ahead and open up, let's do decktester.java. And when I do that, it's going to access this. So I've got my deck tester class here. And if I want to be able to share this with someone else, I can click share, and I can share this file with some other user. So I'll go ahead and go to mistapotta@gmail.com and a little, hey there, I'm sharing this with you. And when we click send, now if I was to go over here, go to a new drive instance, and we'll go to Google Drive, and I will switch to an alternate user here. So here's mistapotta. So what I will notice is that the file has been shared with me. So if I go to shared with me, I should see this file has now been shared with me. This is the decktester.java that we just dealt with. So I should be able to open this up. Now this is a blank file, so if I double click on it, it's going to tell me that I don't have the option, but I have connected this new app here, and we'll be implementing being able to click on this to load up jgloud. Right now it's not set up correctly though. So that's what we have on our site. There are some things that aren't working correctly. The compile and run are not working correctly, and we'll talk about how we're going to deal with this. Also, the idea of saving the output, saving the source, those are not currently working as we have them. And of course, because I can't save the output, I can't share the output. But all of those buttons are set up. So what I want to do with my presentation is talk about how we can deal with these situations for our missing functionality. So the first big missing functionality is reading and writing our output. and our source code. The idea is that the API does allow us to write this. However, the implementations that I've tried so far have run into some issues with the authentication. Authentication's not working correctly for writing in JavaScript, so I still need to work on that, and that's something I'm going to be working on in the upcoming weeks. But the API does provide for this. I just haven't gotten it to work successfully. Some of the other things that I tried is I tried using Realtime, which is another Google device that allows people to collaborate in a real-time method using Google Drive, but it doesn't create text files. What it does is it keeps track of the changes as they accumulate over time, and I could not get the changes to preserve over session. So I would make changes and then I'd try and open the file later. None of my changes got saved. There also is an option for a Save to Drive button, but the Save to Drive saves a file that is stored on the server and uploads it to Google Drive. And I didn't want people to have the option of saving their Java code to my server. Thought that was a poor choice. So writing to Google Drive currently is not yet implemented. I'm hoping to get that implemented in the next couple of weeks for a release date sometime in June. The other thing that we had issues with was compiling and executing Java code. So there's several options that we have with Java code. The first option is applets, and with Google Chrome, that's just a no-go. Google will not run applets. The other thing we have is the idea of using a Java Web Start, like using a JNLP, and there are several programs that do that, but getting a signed JNLP is rather difficult unless you actually work with Oracle, and so I didn't want 10,000 warnings pop up. The best solution that I've been able to find uses the Google Cloud Platform. This Google Cloud Platform actually allows us to write servlets that are hosted on the Google Cloud that we can send data to and get data from. And in the process of sending data to or getting data from, there's this wonderful set of classes that basically compile Java in memory. So instead of having to save it to a file and compiling from a file, it saves it to a blob in memory and then compiles from that blob in memory. So that's the direction that I'm going to be going into pending for our release. That's where we're still working on. So that functionality is still not completely integrated yet, but that is something that we are working on. So if you really want to read the paper that we have developed with this, which goes into a lot more detail of what we considered and how we decided to go the path we did, you can find it at jcloud.net/paper.pdf, or if you go to the jcloud website, there is a link to it down here at the bottom, as well as the other presentations that we've had. So once again, this is Tony Potter. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.